Hi guys, Graham here again from Baintech Technologies. I'd just like to update you on our lithium battery. So for the month of February, every week I'll be doing taking one of the features and benefits and the functions of the battery and discuss it in a little bit further in depth, just to get you guys up to date and let you know what's going on and what the feature and how it may suit you and your battery needs. So last week I was touching on the DC to DC and how to set the DC to DC up. Today it's more about the inbuilt BMS circuit protection. So on our very first models of these, we used to actually have a fuse externally on them. We went away from that and put a new upgraded BMS that we built specifically for the Australian conditions here in Australia. And by doing so, what we did was we took the fuse off of the end and put a resettable fuse in on the circuit breaker. So it's 100 amp because it's 100 amp BMS. So it literally will cover you for the full loads. So it has a couple of different features and benefits for it being internal. Is that if it's an external one, yes, it's easy to get to, but do you always carry mega fuses and things like that and everything on you? And then if you are plugging something into it and it keeps tripping it, you've got to keep replacing the fuse. Whereas with this, you literally disconnect your loads and it will reset. So the benefit of that is if you're running an inverter, so like with the 100 amp BMS, that'll cover you up to say a 1200 watt inverter, but we recommend 1000 watt just to allow you a little bit of headroom there and give yourself a little bit of redundancy built in. So a 1000 watt inverter effectively is going to be pulling just under that 100 amp load anyway. So however, if something does happen and someone plugs in a bigger inverter and they've got an induction cooktop and they try to pull 12, 13, 1400 watts through it, it obviously would just trip the fuse. So what you would need to do in that case, or if anything does trip it, you literally unplug the load, which is the grey one, out of the unit, leave it off for about 5 seconds, and then what this will do is allow the fuse to reset. Then when you plug it in, nice snug fit. When you plug it back in, it will all be reset and ready to go again, unless that particular product that you're plugging in is still tripping it. If that's the case, it would then be a matter of elimination, process of elimination, and unplugging each device one by one until you work out which device is actually tripping it. But that's the beauty of that. It's so that if you are in the middle of the Pilbara, for instance, up in the WA area, and it's not easy just to pop around the corner and buy a new fuse or something, you can still get out of trouble if you can isolate and find out what product is actually tripping it. So that's the BMS side of things as far as the external power supply is concerned. On the internal on this unit, because we do have the DC to DC in this, it is still advisable to put an external fuse or circuit breaker on the input line, and that would obviously be up closer to your cranking battery or where you're pulling the power from. So it protects that circuit from that battery supplying power into the charger here. So that particular circuit is not on the same circuit as the output of the battery. This is purely the output side, which is covered via the BMS if there's a short. So not on the input side, that would have to be an external fuse still. So hopefully that clears that little piece of information up for you. And as I said, that's just one of the innovative things that we've progressed and put into the battery over the last 12 months. So hopefully that will clear that up. And until next week, the next thing we're going to be talking about is the BMS and what it actually does do and what it does control. So until then, bye for now.